One of these two shifts up. Although actually, another thing I could do is I could wait until the number of dwarves with the purple thoughts goes down. Like, this dwarf is satisfying that need by praying. Same with you. But basically, I'm going to remove this temple here and just get them in here for a little bit so they just socialize and make friends, hopefully. I mean, here, let me find it real quick. The mod that I spotted. I want to say it was just in... Yeah, it's Craftable Sandstone Dyed Edition. Yeah, it's this one. It likes you take 1 container of water, 1 bag of quicklime, 1 bag of sand, and 1 bag of plant dye, which makes 4 sandstone blocks colored with that dye color. Quicklime makes that hard, actually. Now I'm thinking about it. Quicklime is one of those materials where I never actually know what it's made out of. I always have to look it up. It's like ash into quicklime, I think. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of different, like, make sandstones one. I realize that, like, just making a vanilla worded mod is just like, oh, it's doable in vanilla. Kind of bugs me. It's like, it's not vanilla if it's a mod, but Dyed Edition, yeah, it's this one. And I think this one, Dyed Edition Advanced. Yeah. I don't know what this requires, but... Advanced Botanical Edition? I don't even know what any of this is. Maybe adds more dyes? I don't know. That stuff might be interesting to play with at some point. What's up, Big Tom? Yeah, no, there are some neat things popping up on the workshop right now with the additions to modding and whatnot. There's a mutilated chinchilla on the ground. Seems my dogs ripped the chinchilla apart. I'm just going to allow these two to be placed here in case that chinchilla is butcherable. Which it might be. Nope, it is not. All right, well then I need to get rid of that chinchilla. So let's just remove this from the burrow. So they don't stare at the dead chinchilla, for one thing. And then I'm not sure what I'll do with it. Those emotes have all been deleted because I decided to stop giving money to Better Twitch TV every month. Big Tom. You sometimes make quick lye. It's basically burnt ash, bits of coal that have been formed. Oh, like in real life? I'm pretty sure it's just ash into quicklime at an ashery, but I could be mistaken. I don't have 7 TV installed. No. I've never actually had 7 TV installed. Not totally true. I installed it for about 90 seconds and then uninstalled it. But I don't want to have this discussion again. Simply put, I don't want to give Better Twitch TV money, and I don't really want to upload my assets to those platforms unless there's actually like a large logical reason for me, and I don't really see one these days. So if you want to subscribe to the channel and get emotes, that's cool. If you don't, you can upload whatever you want to whatever platform and use it as personal emotes, but I'm trying to deprioritize it. It is something I'm doing intentionally, but if that makes you upset, I'm sorry. Magu! Thank you very much for the 11th month. Welcome back. Appreciate you, friend. At some point, maybe I'll find a solution for it, but 7TV isn't the solution. I mean, maybe I'll upload them to FFC, because I don't mind the people who made FFC, but a little cautious about the 7TV people. Just hoping these dwarves can make some friends. We got some more up at the happiest section. It's time to go old school with handmade emotes. Hey man, but let's bring back raise your dongers, okay? Let's bring that back. I am going to add something into the burrow for a second here, which is I'm going to go up to here. I'm going to permit this workshop to be in the burrow. So we can build all these constructions. So we can get all this done. And this dwarf's all alone telling a story and socializing. You saw a dwarf recite the sunsets on haze. You're telling me that they sunsetted haze, but that wasn't a live service game. Also, chat, can I get a round of beers for that Prime sub for 11 months? Please and thank you. Or make a rabbit mold. It's useful in making crude cement? Huh. I know nothing about crude cement. Just like me for real. Exactly, yes. We're about to get hit by ads. I will pause game during ads. It's like a bus that I can't stop. But yeah, I know very little about quicklime, so. Although that would make sense using quicklime to make sandstone blocks if it's used to make crude cement. Because what is sandstone block if not crude cement? I guess quicklime must curse a lot because it's crude. I mean, if someone has a lot of animal hides lying around Jesus, they might as well turn it into something. I know somebody who goes hunting and he shot a deer once and took it to a leather guy, or took the hide to a leather guy after it had been butchered, and then, like, it has been slowly, like, paying people to make it into shit for him, which is kind of neat. Like, if you're gonna, you know, kill an animal, you might as well, like, use up all the parts of the animal. Oh, something I did, which I just received an email about. I pre-ordered an album this weekend. I pre-ordered an album because I own every single album by this artist on CD. And I've owned some of them since they were new. And it's their first album since 2014. In a proper album format under their original name. So I pre-ordered an album, which is Pendulum. The new album by Pendulum. It's great for plants that like alkaline pH. You use ash. Yep, oh yeah, no, totally. You need help. One of these human macemen has their name flashing red, but I can't figure out what it's for. Maceman is a task. It's a job. Are they a legendary maceman? That would be why they're flashing red. Or alternatively, them being a legendary maceman would be enough for them to flash red. And They could also be legendary in a speech skill, which won't change the color of the dwarf, but they'll flash red because they'll just flash when they're legendary. Check their, like, combat, social, these, other. Especially if they've been hanging out in your tavern, it's not ridiculous for them to be like legendary in speaking or something. That is a neutered animal, yes. Because it means that their breeding parts have been damaged. All right, I think that's enough fun time for these dwarves. I've also got a dwarf who's trying to attend a meeting, who keeps getting into arguments. Damaged breeding parts is a good band name. There's a local band from around here called Standard Issue Pleasure Model, which amuses the hell out of me. I always thought the Pendulum was British. At least Rob Swire is. But I'm talking about the drum and bass group. Pendulum. Rob Swire and whatever the fuck the other guy's name was from Pendulum went and started Knife Party for a bit, if that's what you're talking about. Sotark, but I never really liked Knife Party. Yay! Migrants! I was a little worried for a second there. Legendary Pump Operator? Swerves are all legendary in, like, really bizarre things. Huh. She's a master tracker. Ah, very typical. Master's enough for them to be legendary. Or blink. And wants to bathe the world in chaos. I mean, typical adventurer. This dwarf's a competent axe dwarf. I'm getting so many militia-trained dwarves with random kills in goblin locations. It's kind of wild, actually. All they want is to steal my artifacts? Well, it's... I mean, they could be lying, but then they would probably have a decent skill in lying. Like, look at this. Competent mace dwarf. Expert wrestler. Like, what? Dreams of attaining a rank in society. Huh. And a donker. Don Donkey gets et. Reg here. Hold on. 2 lovers and 6 children? Oh boy, you've been busy. 3 children. Hey, your dad's here. Would you look at that? And those are your younger siblings. This is going to be... I have a feeling this is going to be a big migrant wave because this entire dwarf's extended family is showing up alongside of them. There's a... baby alpaca. Chat, do I keep the alpaca or eat the alpaca? Yes or no? 2 lovers, 5 children. Oh my god. How about you? Married? The last world had, like, no family units. This one is just full. Keep, eat, no. Eat, keep. I'll just eat them. Also, I like the Prodigy. I'm not a big fan of Prodigy, though. Baka. What butcher you? You're also married. In terms of crafting a masterwork someday, this is going to be a big migrant wave, isn't it? You're another competent axe dwarf. In terms of creating a great work, doesn't really value skills relating to fighting, yet is a competent axe dwarf. I'm not going to bother assigning you then. There's a kid who's 10 years old. Big family, look at that. Mom's here. There's a named chick. Who do you belong to? Pet of Lemuel. The dwarven child. Well, I can't, in good faith, kill you then. That's just mean. Let's see. You've arrived and you have a pet piglet. Great. What about you? 2 lovers and a child and a pet goat. These are massive families in this faction. This dwarf also had a master named Domas. I bet you he was a bit of a Domas. You want to see the great natural places of the world? Well, I mean, I'm sure this counts as a great natural place. Stray goat! Dinner! I also totally forgot I had turkeys. In other news, I totally forgot that I had turkeys. And then you arrive, you're a competent axe dwarf. In terms of mastering a skill. They also arrive with colored clothing. Like, look at this jabber leather dress, which is plum bark dyed. Oh, hey, Dulkin's your older sister. Look at that. Tom the turkey? You don't want a dwarf? I mean, you can have a turkey if you want. You sure you don't want a dwarf? You're an adequate butcher. Another member of one of these big-ass families? Oh, you want to name a dwarf Tom the Turkey. Okay, hold on. What dwarf do you want to name Tom the Turkey, then? I didn't clue in that you wanted me to name a dwarf that. God damn it, there's a cavey. My life is ruined, and I am upset. Any dwarf is cool, preferably with a beard. Okay. You can be Urist. You are related to Dulkin. You're Dulkin's younger brother. So you clearly moved here because of family. He doesn't stick with things even if minor difficulties arise because he's a turkey. He's a perfectionist and he does not focus on material goods. He tries to keep his things orderly, and that doubled my population size. Holy shit. He tries to keep things orderly and prefers that everyone lives as harmoniously as possible. He rarely feels discouraged, and he tends to assume that the worst of 2 outcomes will be the one that comes to pass. He isn't particularly interested in what others think of him, and he rolls his eyes when he's annoyed. He laughs very loudly whenever he's surprised, and he runs his fingers through his hair when he's nervous. He dreams of mastering a skill and personally dislikes cooperation, finds artwork boring, and finds introspection to be a waste of time. He doesn't care about nature one way and or another. He's got a medium-length beard, which is neatly combed. He likes lignite, as well as ley pewter, pyrite, mangrove wood, unicorn horn, the color Prusse, warhammers, mahoganies for their loose inflorescence. Mahoganies. I don't even know what that is. For their loose inflorescence. And in words, the words of the early dress, not the late dress, only likes his dresses 15 minutes early, and the Iron of Mines, and the sight of the earthen aquamarina when possible prefers to consume Rothrer, horse cheese, and custard apple cider, and hates blood gnats. And you're 29 years old. Welcome to the fort. Just like you for real? Well, I'm happy. I'm happy that I've succeeded in finding a dwarf that's just like you for real. The question is, are we getting any more dwarves in this goddamn massive migrant wave? All right. We're about to get a farmer's guild, methinks. Slight suspicion that we are about to get a farmer's guild. I'm also going to need to make a bunch of bedrooms. Because I do have some unassigned ones. So I can get those assigned and see how many more I need. Of course, I'm managing to not find a single married couple of dwarves yet. Oh, let's do like this, maybe. Oopsies. Let's do like that. And then we'll put one right here. Up from up here. See, I screwed that up slightly, but that's fine. I can fix. That gets us 4. 4. And I'm going to actually cut in here a little bit. And I'm going to put one right here. I'm going to put one right here. I'm going to put one right there. Put one right here. And maybe an additional one right there. Actually, this corner here can get one more. That should be close to what I need. We'll see. They should clear through this pretty quick. I had 20 dwarves, and now we have 39. So 19 dwarves was in that wave. Not too big. Not small by any stretch, but certainly not too big. Definitely on the bigger side of migrant waves. I'm also going to throw a refuse stockpile out here. Maybe just a corpses stockpile so we can get that dead chinchilla out of here. And I'm just going to go to refuse and dumping. Yeah, they should remove that. I'm also going to go to refuse and just say corpses. Slowly, periodically add more onto that as needed. What, so we don't get a mayor? Celeste? I mean, it's not so bad. I'm pretty equipped to be able to take on a mayor as soon as needed, but it is certainly making my life a little less suddenly tricky. What are these doors made out of? Oopsies. I am assembling ballista arrows, apparently. Nope, I am making rock doors. And something else I'm going to do is I will accept this into here, because that's quite busy. I don't know why you're not getting constructed. I'm just going to cancel it. And then I'm going to make a second Infini stockpile here. And, whoops, I should have confirmed it. And this is going to just be for this stuff. And I'm going to go here, and I'm going to make a track stop going right there. And I'm going to make a new one of these. And it's going to go right there. And it's going to load from there. It's going to have none of these. And it's going to only load that. And I don't have an extra minecart, so you are going to make a... Let's see if you'll work. An oak minecart, or if you just use whatever. Yeah, it worked. Okay. I need to learn to make natural cup, or every fort you make is boxes and hallways. I mean, do what works, and like, you know, if it's not negatively impacting your game, just go for literally whatever option seems the most interesting to you at the time. And don't worry about it too much. I mean, I think a lot of people fixate and overthink things. Ah, was waiting for that. Farmer Guild. So that's raspberry. So I'm going to go to cloth. I'm going to go color. Raspberry pink. Dyed. And I'll say plant or yarn. And this is going to give to that. Choose a stockpile which this will give items. You're going to give items to that. And I'm going to call this pink cloth. Because I want to make pink robes. Most like temperate forested areas are going to have raspberries. Although I will say raspberries as well as there's several different pinks. Hold on. Let me just look. Make dye. Yeah, raspberry and red spinach are kind of the two pinkish ones. But most temperate kind of forested areas should have one or the other, if not both. Wait, hold on. Why is everybody upset? Was that literally just because you saw a dead chinchilla and you got caught in the snow storm? Okay, well, we've got new people here, so I'm just going to do this. Assign everybody to this. All right, everybody, into the mandatory fun room. There's a lot of complaints going on. A lot of complaints. Kind of require everybody to go get inside. Was the baby alpaca a pet? I don't think I wouldn't. You can own... Apparently. But it wasn't listed as a named until it was butchered. Because you can't assign named animals to be butchered, right? I wonder. Huh. Because it was named. I saw that. That's kind of whack. I don't know. Like, genuinely, I don't know what caused that or how that happened. And let's just make sure that this can all go down to here. It got named after you said it to be butchered. I think I made it available as a pet very briefly. I think I misclicked it. That's actually, so if somebody goes back in the VOD, you could probably confirm this, but I think now that I'm thinking back on it, I think I clicked it briefly. So somebody must have claimed it in that period of time, which would have made it a very tight window. Like a very tight window. I mean, cats can just claim things as pets and don't care. But that's my only theory, is I could have clicked the button briefly. Is that what I did? Celestine? Well, that kind of sucks. Whoops. Although I think it's actually them getting caught in the blizzard on the way into the fort that upset them all. Can you find out who they got attached to? I don't think so. I mean... I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. I have a question. Why do we care? Because I kind of don't. Why do you care, chat? Like, genuine question here. Why does it matter? Who claimed it? Because I'll be honest with you, I don't care, really. Why do you guys want to know so bad? I mean, I could also just, like, click through the dwarves until I find somebody who's upset that their pet got killed. But, like, why does it matter? Just curious? Ah. I mean, if you guys are just curious enough, I will go make it, but I don't see the purpose. It just seems a bit redundant to me. That's all. Oh, I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to put away the mugs. That's what they're trying to do. But a bunch of dwarves is dancing down here, so that'll help. Also need to make more beds. Yeah, I think all of those negative thoughts are just the only thoughts they had upon entering the fortress were negative because they were all just, they got caught in the snow and the rain. They got the double whammy. The Cudgel and the Assaulted Amber. I'm seeing them using color words a lot more frequently. You need a tombstone for your pet rock? I hate to break it to you, but that's just your pet rock. It's not always that, Drew. I don't know why, but for some reason using that as a reference for everything makes me weirdly uncomfortable, Drew. I know that, like, for a lot of people it's validating, but for me it just makes me uneasy, and I can't quite put my finger on why. Poobird here is pretty happy, although wants to acquire a thing. Well, let's just get these bedrooms done. No, I mean, I don't really care what the fixation is or what the joke is. It just, for some reason, when, like, somebody overthinking something or being interested in something is always pointed at with autism, it just makes me uneasy. I don't know why. It's not something I'm a huge fan of. And I don't understand even remotely how that relates to RimWorld, but... Are you able to make the game pause, or do you need a mod for that? You hit spacebar to pause? Pauses are up here. Like, also opening a lot of different menus pauses the game. Oldie olds. But yeah, you can play, pause, play, pause. You can also move one turn at a time by hitting period. Again, I don't understand how that relates to RimWorld, Drew, but whatever. It's more the other way around. The alerts in RimWorld and Oxygen Not Included are like Dwarf Fortress, because Dwarf Fort did it first. But yeah, no, you can pause the game, of course. Snail. Chromite has been possessed. One of my starting 7. I will follow Snail momentarily after I get these doors placed. Well, good news is, don't have that many more bedrooms that need to be finished up. Got one over here. You didn't know that? Yeah, I think it's period is what it's automatically bound to. It's best to just slow down and relax. Croce dwelling upon getting in a snowstorm. It's funny. The snowstorms here are going to be kind of mean. Let's turn this off. Just waiting for the ads to end. How are dyes so far? Fiddly. But they look nice. But they are fiddly. Although that was kind of something I was expecting. I would say human society is obsessed with cats. It's not limited to the internet or one particular form of brain chemistry. The dwarf has claimed a stonecutter's shop. This is a vanilla fort, Mr. Boxlot, because I wanted to mess with new features. In this case, dyeing. Which isn't a new feature, but the new dyes are definitely a new feature. It's actually one of the reasons I very rarely end up using mods in games like this is because I go, well, they added new stuff, so I need to like see the new stuff with, and I can't use mods if I'm seeing the new stuff. And then by the time I'm done with that world, I'm like, yeah, I would install some mods. They add new stuff. It's like, God damn it. You really need like longer periods of time between patches for me to mod games frequently. Needs dirt and linked stockpile. Yeah. Now you should be able to do that. Got Malachite running around. Also, I'm not going to put any bins in this. But I am going to put a bin in this. Let's make these bins out of... Let's go birch. Never say never, Moreb. But it has been a long time since I've used any mods. But never say never. That time is getting nearer. So many random ass named animals. God damn it. It's 3 months. In regards to petitions. Snail has created Lecrodem, a Luminite table, and offers it to the Mountain of Dyes. I will place this down here in a position of Lecrodonor. I was going to say honor, but right next to that Malachite throne. But yeah, you have 3 months, and then when you accept it, you have an additional 3 months. So actually, it's quite a bit of time. So I usually leave it up there until I've built the thing. And then once I've built the thing, I accept it. Or I accept it while I'm building the thing and then make the zone. Which just kind of makes the process more straightforward. Now it's a farmer's guild. So I personally think it should go up here. Also this should have 0 bins. And 1 barrel, maybe. No wheelbarrows. What do you think, chat? Should I put the Farmers Guild up here in this layer? Or should I put it 1 layer down? What do you think? Also, seriously, why the fuck are we not getting rid of this? Oh, I see why. Also, this shouldn't be taking leather. Oh, then I don't even know. It's named creature skin. Above is good. You need to expand the farm itself. Yeah, that's true. That, or alternatively, I could just put it down here. Because this is kind of becoming the social zones. Got plenty of space down here. Can make it into a big old dining hall for farmers. It's 3 more bedrooms. 1, 2, 3, and then the rest are kids and babies, so I do need more. Yeah, do need more. I have your Farmers Guild halls near the surface and farms. Well, if I were to put them near the farms, they need to go here. But I'm not certain I want a guild hall right here. This area is kind of a mess. Everything in this fortress is kind of near the surface. But if I put it here, then that'll just keep it central, which probably is the way to do it. That's slightly terrifying. It'll get filled in with time. Don't worry about it. So this artifact table is a Lemonite table. All craftsmanship is of the highest quality. This object menaces with spikes of limestone. On the item is an image of 2 tapered cut gems in limestone, which is neat. Let's just unforbid all the tasks now that there's a lot of tasks that need doing. But yeah, I kind of know what you mean about knowing that things aren't going to collapse but still thinking they're going to collapse. I feel that way sometimes. While doing Dwarf fort construction. It's like, this looks like it could cave in, but I don't think it... I know it won't, but it looks like it could. That's basically the lowest value artifacts end up being. Although, it's probably slightly higher than 2k, or slightly below 2k. I mean, it's literally just, what? Limestone? And limestone. It's 2 boulders of limestone. Although that's probably the value of most of your starting artifacts, generally. Like the first artifact you end up with in a fort. Questionable structural integrity? Yeah, well. We work with what we've got, hey? And if that's questionable structural integrity, then I guess it's questionable structural integrity. Also getting all of this, all these boulders out of here pretty quick. Let's get some more beds placed. And some more doors placed. Oh, no access to doors. Need to make more doors. Then we can get more doors placed. I'm gonna go dog. And I'm going to geld you. Yeah, because the materials that they're made out of are not worth very much in regards to fell moods. That's actually kind of an issue. Okay, why is there... Okay. Hold up. What the fuck's going on here? What in the hell is going on here, and why are we not getting rid of those corpses? And why is there just like... Okay. Yeah, there's some weirdness going on with that alpaca. Because, like, they're refusing to eat even, like, the good alpaca lung from it. Because it got named, I guess. Weird. Yeah, I should be more cautious about when I click that button, I suppose. I also need to get those corpses moved elsewhere, because that's a problem. And also just the dead chinchillas everywhere in here is absolutely a fucking problem. Stupid dogs. Stupid dogs. At least we're finally making this. These can get paused on you. Although, actually, you know what? Let's also just throw limestone into this. Actually, why don't I do it this way? I'm not going to put it into this one. I'm just going to make one for economics specifically. So let's just go here and make a track stop going north. I'm going to go here and just go boulders, economic. Let's just say limestone and marble. And then, because I have both those here. Oopsies. Limestone and marble. How's this doing? Slow and steady. Game saving, which is moving us into summer. But good luck with your all-in, Tiny Hippo. Big bets mean big rewards or big losses. I mean, I usually just, like, if I'm gonna automate something to crush stuff, it's usually the refuse and corpse stockpiles. Long Tom. Good win, Tibbe. Rip to the losses. Congrats to the winners. Make dye. Yeah, I appear to be out of raspberry. Holy shit, you're rich. Hi, Rich. I'm blind. Then right here, let's just go migrant. Yeah, it does seem like They're just using... Yeah, they are using the right bins. Although this shouldn't have any bins in it. Looks like we are still making that raspberry dye when it's available, but only when it's available. Being out of raspberry is a travesty. This is true. Letter N. This is true. I'm pretty engrossed in this dyeing, though, let me tell you. Sounds bad. But I'm pretty engrossed in this dyeing, you know? I'm going to make another clothes shop. I think the only way I'm actually going to be able to manage this in, like, a logical manner is I'm just going to have to use these constantly. I'm just going to have to use give and take stockpiles and be very specific about who pulls from what. And then we'll clear all these. And you are going to load limestone and marble. And I just need you to make that minecart right there. And I'm going to take items from here specifically, and I'm going to make a work order here, which is going to be cloak. What do I have more of here? Cloth and yarn. Because a lot of this is yarn. And it's just going to be 2 and 2. Restarts if completed. Worked on monthly. We'll see how quickly we can get to that. And see if we can start making that work. Can also allow you to start making limestone stuff. I just require this minecart to be over here. And we'll start filtering that. This is another color that I would like to work on, which is amber. So let's go here. Should also work on that stockpile. This is going to be for cloth, not metal, only dyed, and only amber. Down here, let's queue up the size of this. I will set this as a farmer's guild, and I can watch the value of it go up slowly. There we go, farmer's guild. Throw in a bunch of malachite, at least around the edge. And then in the middle here, start throwing in conglomerate. Oh, did I do 2 yarn? You're correct. And let's see. Oh. Oh, I see. My manager's napping. Oh. Went through a memory and it changed your personal tendencies. Felt funness remembering a new romance. And you became more cheerful. Well, that's good. Your children are starving? You should feed them. Seems like a problem that should be remedied. Oh, did I not say where to load from? No, I didn't. Choose a stockpile. This one will take items, which is here. And you will give items to this. And this is going to be called amber cloth. I made up internet tickets? I mean, that's just like most... Oh man, I was going to make a really mean joke. Is it mean to make fun of people who have AI girlfriends or no? Just confirming here. It's not. I was gonna say like that. It's doing better than most people who are dating Grok. It's sad but funny. I don't even know if it's funny. I think it's just sad. Like I think it's just so sad that it skips over the funny part. I'm gonna smooth these walls. Just try and get the floors paved. All these children. Uh-oh. I'm also realizing that I've got a naked kid running around. Because I don't actually have enough clothes. So I'm just going to make this and just let it pull from here. I'm just going to make a full set of clothing. Let's just make 4 of each, which will be hood, tunic, sock, shoe, glove. Hood, tunic, sock, shoe, glove. Which also I'm curious. Hood, tunic, sock, shoe, glove. I've never actually tested this before. Set all these to 1-shot max. And if they show up here, and I get rid of them, will they automatically jump to you? Because you should only take from here. That's what I want to know. Like, will they appear on... Like, if I cancel them from this one, will they move to this one? Basically, is what I want to know. It's a much more nuanced, complex subject than that. Ledran. As a very lonely dude, it's a much more complex subject than simply hating people of the opposite sex. Or people that you're interested in, for that matter. It's a really bizarre state. And I disagree with that take. That round. Actually, that's fine. I want to see if they pop up here, or if they only get assigned to this one. New fort? Yep, we started the fort yesterday, so this is day 2 of it, but it's still a very new fort. We only had 12 dwarves when I started today, so... Yeah, okay. So it doesn't move to the next one. So I do have to do these... Well, actually, I could just forbid this. Probably. I'll just say this, and then I'm going to politely respect that we move on to a new subject, chats. But I think generalizing to an extreme degree is dangerous. It doesn't really matter what you're generalizing. I think generalizing in general is just pretty dangerous. So just be cautious when you're generalizing. That's all. It's all good. But just, yeah. If someone is choosing to go after a digital approximation, that doesn't automatically make them an abuser who hates women. Maybe they were abused and are scared of women. Who knows? There's a lot more to it than that. That's all. At the end of the day, I wish people wouldn't talk about, well, at the end of the day, I wish people would talk to real people that they disagree with in real life, and I wish more people went to therapy. Because generally, most people are actually not that bad when they talk to people in real life. Oak Park Dye just looks like a normal shirt, but... Look at that. That's pretty rad looking. I really like the red cloaks. Those pink cloaks look amazing. Look at that. Oh, that looks awesome. Big fan. Big goddamn fan. It's noble-esque. It kind of is. I mean, it almost looks purple. Like, because it's like a purpley red. I guess. Right? Shit, we're in an ad break. I'll pause. Dwarves are currently color-coded by job, yeah. But I can disable that to show you. Because I find the game a lot easier to play if they're color-coded by jobs. Personally. Like, yeah. So yeah, it gives them the little colored cape. Gives them the little colored cape. Like this kiddo. Like their names will still keep the fancy color codings, but... This is the naked one. Who needs to go equip clothing? Mr. 1-year-old zany child. It's good to see that it's easy to switch between. I kind of wish it was a hotkey similar to like this, like the ramps on and off, but... It's neat. It's something that you see by default in adventure mode. Yeah, I think raspberry and I think beet plant dye are my early favorites. Also, something else I should check here. Labor, standing, no, kitchen, not standing orders. I have nothing else that I need to be cooking. Shouldn't be cooking the Perry. We're cooking all the meats. And a lot of seeds. Good stuff. Tons of malachite, tons of chert, and tons of limestone. And then all of these boulders are just getting hauled like crazy. And where actually are you going? Probably pretty far, actually. Okay, let's check the value of this, which is not high enough yet. I will engrave this. I will go in here and go malachite for these corners. Table and a chair. Oh, I should make some displays. Rock pedestal. Let's make 4. Let's just make them out of limestone. I mean, I think it's worth not having copper in your fort to just have a shit ton of malachite instead. I got tons of iron, though, so I'm not exactly sweating for it. I could just smooth this and try and get the value up that way, too, which I think what I'm going to do. I think that the malachite tables and the malachite thrones look awesome as well. That's also true, bad. That is also true, bad Quanta. You can set it to disallow general work orders in the workshop. Wait, really? I think you may have just exposed me to a mechanic I wasn't aware of. Oh, wow, you're not wrong. Holy shit. Has that always been there? That's gotta be new. I gotta go look at my VODs. Not new? Really? It's been there for a long time? I had no idea. Well. I'm not, I swear I'm not good at this game. I just try to be good at this game. Let's see if you get made into... Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Then you are only taking from this general class stockpile. Making raspberry dye. Often am I just dyeing cloth? I was gonna say, isn't it? I guess it's just hasn't been checked yet. Okay, so this is all goldenrod. So let's make a goldenrod cloth stockpile. Goldenrod. Except no goldenrod. Or only goldenrod, rather. No undyed cloth. Only dyed goldenrod cloth. And then no metal cloth. And then this should give items to this, which will be called goldenrod. You know how, like, you know, one of the common buzzwords you hear amongst like AI nonsense is AI researchers? Sometimes I feel like Tarn is a Dwarf Fortress researcher. It's like just researching his own software. And we all still have much to learn. I kind of want to make a lemonite ore stockpile over here. Because I do have limestone over there, so I'm probably going to end up making my forges in this kind of vicinity. So how's the value of this? Haven't made it high enough value yet. So what I think I will do is throw some more blocks in here. I will, let's do this. Gotta have a pedestal by now, yeah? Yep, there we go. So this is the bedroom layers, which is the lowest down. This is the entry layer. 2 layers up is like a hollowed out chunk of mountain in which I'm going to slowly be building like structures in and populating with workshops. And most of it right now is being focused in this room right here. So, you know. Why don't I also include conglomerate right here? Yeah, it'll fit. And then there you go. Yeah, the layer. The only proper referable word for layer is the layer. Not to be confused with the liar. Here's a document that you made with all of the dyed colors if anyone's interested. Where Fortress dies. Oh my god. Do you mind if I share that in the YouTube chat as well? I feel like that's something somebody should make a guide for on Steam. So this was just shared in the Twitch chat, YouTube folks. It is a Canva link, but So the way I'm going to slow down these cloaks is... say 6. If the amount of unused cloaks is above 6, and cloth cloak over here. If the amount of unused... Did I do that wrong? Let's just go with the amount of cloaks, I guess, is how I want to do that. So once there's like a surplus of cloaks, we're not going to worry about it so much. And I'm going to go to my manager. Well, that's interesting. It doesn't appear that I can assign specific clothing to managers. I never really thought about that, but interesting. They'll hassle you if they don't like you. You can actually change the amounts that they will offer you every year, Ethiok, in the difficulty settings, if that's something that you want. I'm also going to get rid of this and build a new gem cutting workshop somewhere close-ish. But first I will go down here and double check this. Still not that high of a value. Let's go up here and type in large. Let's throw you in there. You want a dwarf, but you don't want a dwarf, but can I name the pedestal green with envy? Sure. Who's green and why are they with envy? But hopefully that satisfies. Let's also go rock blocks. And just make them limestone. And also rock blocks conglomerate. Because I don't mind those combinations of colors at all. I think they look quite nice, actually. They're not that outside of putting them in the military, I don't think there's any way to enforce uniforms. No. I'm pretty sure that the military is the only way to do that. Haven't quite got the value up just yet, but we're getting there. And then let's go down here. Use the 2 limestone. Put gem windows into here. I mean, you could do that in regards to the military thing. Let's make 2 malachite statues. We'll stick those in these 2 open spots. Off work, welcome back. You like the mint chip? You know, if we get a bunch of obsidian in this fort, it'd be a mint chocolate chip fort. And then down here, shear animal and make cheese. Yeah, I need to actually go down a whole bunch. Uh-oh, more migrants have arrived. Oh, this will probably get us up to 50, right? 2 lovers, 2 children, 2 pets. Brother. Reg here likes his variety packs in life, okay? A little bit of everything, you know? Also another legendary pump operator. What the fuck is going on with this faction? They're all just cracked lovers, I suppose. Oh, this is my favorite dwarf in the fort. He knows a poem about brunch. I agree with everything that this dwarf believes and says. That's clearly the best. That's clearly the best poem. There's never been a better poem. I disagree that brunch has no particular subject. That absolutely is a perfect example of the washed moistness. Yeah. That's funny. My God. Welcome to the Fort Reg and your pile of animals and your cat. You know, this dwarf's married and has 4 kids, but didn't bring any of her kids. She did bring her husband, though. She's a legendary speaker and poet. What in the actual... She knows the poetic form, the clean egg. Chat, brunch has to be... Why is brunch a poem that takes the form of the washed moistness and not the clean egg? I must complain to the author of this poem. Although this dwarf knows a poem called Hug Ever Onward. Must be about wrestling, right? We see lemons. Naturally. Bane and the Fragment. That sounds like a good story, honestly. This is just about World Gen. Towers Ever Onward. Most definitely. There's so many jokes, chat. There's so many jokes. Was there one called Thirsts and Nothing More? Oh, that's about all the people who forgot to enable brewing alcohol. This dwarf brought their kids. That's nice of you. You also have 2 lovers and 3 children. Jesus Christ, this is like the most poly faction I've ever seen. Except for you. You just have a spouse. How about your spouse? Does your spouse have like 5 lovers? Nope. Disappointment, man. How about you? Well, half your family's already here. Your aunt is here. Your uncle Einod's here. Big old family history. Although you are a competent swords dwarf. Even remotely brave? I might just throw you in the military for shits. And gaggles. 48 dwarf. You may have to take it. Well, I guess that means I need to make a bunch more bedrooms, hey? If nothing else, that's what that means. Hopefully those in the Farmers Guild don't party too loud late at night. Otherwise, their recent move-innies here might not be the thrillest of the dwarf population. All right, let's do something like this. And then all the way down there. It's an ugly-ass bedroom, but you know what? Someone has to sleep in it, so someone will. Let's also go up here. Let's throw a cabinet in here. And a cabinet in there. And a cabinet in there. Just for the ones that have clothing starting to pile up. So that they can put their stuff away. And then this is now high enough value for the guild, so they're happy. And I will throw those 2 statues. Well, the first one right there, and then I'll throw the second one over there. Malachite just smelts into the cheapest and functional metal in the AF. It's also... no, I'll tell you this, Hushpool. I think a very small fraction of the Dwarf Fortress community duplicates metals. They just think that everybody duplicates metals. You saying that it's more common to duplicate through smelting it over and over and over again? I don't think that's true, actually. I think that you are making shit up, my friend. Based on your own perceived concept of truth. And I don't think that that's very accurate. I mean, just actually out of curiosity, show of hands, how many people actively dupe metals while playing Dwarf Fort? It's also, like, not a crime, so don't be ashamed if you do. I think I've done it once. That I remember doing it. Well, actually, I've probably done it accidentally. In fact, most of us have probably done it accidentally. But intentionally, I'm pretty sure I've only ever done it once. I think I tried it at some point to have Divine Metal, but got confused and abandoned the idea. Fair. Yeah. There's so many of these tasks, holy shit. Yeah, I mean, just set your materials to everywhere if you got to do that, but I mean, sure, yeah, no, if you're playing the game as a sandbox and just trying to build a cool big thing to brag about, then that's kind of a different discussion, in my opinion. Oopsies. I like the color of birch too much. I need more birch wood. Hey, Spork. It's been a minute. Hope you've been well. Anyway, Hushpool, I very much think that your statement is incorrect, that it's more common. I think it's actually a very small fraction of the community that actively abuses those bugs. At least, intentionally. You have 2,672 gold bars in your not abundant world. I mean, yeah, if you're playing on a map with like a decent amount of gold on it, like, yeah, it's kind of... If you have a map with no gold and you want to make a gold tower, yeah, you got to do what you got to do, right? But... Something collapsed on the surface? Oh, shit. Tree collapsed on Zachris. By that, I mean probably a tree was supporting another tree and then collapsed. Zachris appears to be all right. No wounds from the looks of things. Did need a shower, though, after that. 'Twas dangerous, but is fine. Just gonna make birch bins. I wonder, who's my best clother? Stodier the Broker is my best clother. I'm going to remove them from other tasks. So I'm going to get Stodier doing this. Once they're done eating, that is. Oh, you're going to go eat a peach. Ain't that adorable? Oh shit, I'm in an ad break. I thought it was just starting. Yeah, I also do quantum stockpiles. I don't even think that quantum stockpiles are cheating in any way. If anything, they're actually less efficient in some ways. Because they create a lot of hauling jobs. It's definitely easier to keep up with YouTube videos than Twitch streams, so it doesn't feel that long to you. Oh, yeah, no, that's true. I mean, I don't know. Spork, are you in an ad? I'm presuming most people are in an ad at the moment. Yeah, well, I guess to me it depends on how big of an exploit it is. I also need to just set this. Yeah, we'll just do it that way. Do seasonally for plants and do monthly for fruit. And I'm just going to go up to here. Just do that right now, please. Just please do that right now until the others appear. But Spork of Death, I do have to say that, like, there's times where, like, people will tune into the stream and they'll be like, "What's up, dude?" And I'll be like, "Oh, it's good to see you. It's been a long time." And then they'll be like, "Oh, what do you mean? I've been watching your YouTube videos this whole time." I'm like, well, like, if you haven't left comments, or I also happen to have the same username where you leave comments when you leave comments, I would have no idea. So, I'm also going to go down here real quick, and I'm just going to make a little Pasture for turkeys. Means using up a lot of coal. Not unless you're using forges, or magma forges, rather. But yes, it can use a lot of coal. Wait a second, what? You just spin thread, please. What's popping? Not a whole lot. Scroll of the Z levels. Pretty quick. It's also pretty small, so there's this level, which is where most of the activity is taking place. I'm just going to slowly construct this out into a metroplex of crafting. This is the entry zone. This is the living area, which is slowly expanding and needs to do some more expanding. And that's basically it. It's pretty, like, confined right now. Also, something that I like to remind people is if I was playing this game off stream, I would probably have a lot more verticality in my forts. Because I know a lot of people like to build one layer for each thing. But I find this myself, and I know other people run into this as well, which is I find that when everything is on its own Z level, it actually is a lot harder to follow visually. And I do want my forts and streams to be easy to follow for the viewer. So I try and put workshops in one area, living on another area, or like even keep multiple things on one layer, even though I wouldn't do that if I was just playing the game on my own time. Just because it makes it easier to follow for people. Okay. And we just need to get these beds done and we're all caught up. That's why you end up having channeled layers so that you can have 2 levels visible at once. Yeah, no, I'm going to try and do that with like the farming layer below. You're carrying that door up there. All these doors coming down here. Those doors must be heavy because those dwarves are moving really slowly when they're carrying them. So if anybody needs a bedroom, there will be an extra one. Must just be out of fruit. Let's get some more herbalists up in here. Then another thing I would like to do is I would like to get down a bunch of levels. Probably closer to about here. Because if I do that, then we can start bringing the sheep in there, and it'll be faster. I also have to section off an area specifically for the sheep. Also, we found dolomite in other news. I'm also kind of hoping I'll find that aquifer. Could we improve verticality to make it easier to follow? Like from the perspective of streaming? Channel through layers so that you can see multiple at once. That's really all you can do. Look at that, we got more malachite. Automate that, but I'll automate that at priority 3. So we finish the stairs first. You saw nice? That is true. It's very nice. You also have, amongst other things, my god, there's so much malachite on this map. We also got microcline, which is pretty nifty, actually. I'm also kind of hoping at some point I'll hit this aquifer, but no such luck yet. Because currently this fort actually has no water source in the winter, so if we get some injuries in the winter, we're in trouble. Okay, that's absurd. Just make me some pear dye. So apparently I've got shit tons of pear leaves. If a cavern could generate in the mountain at the higher than sea levels? I've never seen that happen, so I don't know, actually. Oopsies. Ah! Game, please. Let's go here and go pen pasture. And let's go rock nest. Ah, fuck it. Let's just make, yeah, whatever. Rock nest box. Let's just make them out of limestone. Because this whole mountain is made of limestone, practically. Is there any bigger YouTubers than Blind who've covered Dwarf Fortress? I don't know if we count Robaz as a YouTuber these days, but Robaz streams it now and again. Probably Quill18. Why? I mean, there's a couple of VTubers that appear on the Twitch side of things, but I don't know about YouTube. I mean, I guess technically Hazor's a bigger YouTuber than me, but he hasn't played Dwarf Fortress since he realized that he makes a lot more money making RimWorld content. What was I gonna do with this? Clothing is what I was gonna do with it. Oh, that's fun. Can make a dyed-only clothing stockpile. Although I should probably put that over here, though. Trying to figure out exactly how to organize this. But yeah, I don't know why, I guess. You want to know what's kind of wild? I genuinely wonder how much YouTubers like Splattercat could do for a game like this, because like those types of channels offer very, well, I guess like Nucrium is one, but those types of channels offer very, very surface level content because they never spend enough time on anything to really get a deep acknowledgement or understanding, I guess, of a particular game, which isn't a bad thing necessarily. It just means that they don't always end up spending a lot of time in a particular game. I think a game like Dwarf Fortress requires a lot of time. And I think that if you, for a channel like Splattercats, if they just make a 30-minute one-shot video about Dwarf Fortress, it's never going to really help. You need, like, somebody who's willing to put time in and either make videos the way I do. Like, somebody like Ambiguous Amphibian, but I think he gave up on this game, actually. So, I don't know. This is always, like, a weird conversation, I guess. I mean, in theory, like, Seth covered Dwarf Fort once, and if he covered it again, that would probably be good for the game, all of my issues with him aside. That being said, I don't, like, in my heart, I kind of hope he doesn't. You either need, like, long-form Let's Plays that go really deep, or you need content like what me, Krug Smash, Hazor, or Ambiguous Amphibian do. Yeah, Von Galactic, but he's not bigger than me. I mean, the question was, is there anybody bigger than me that makes content about this game? But yes, there is also Von Galactic. If we're just naming Dwarf Fort YouTubers now, yes, there is Von Galactic. Now I need to do limestone blocks. When all the planets align? Yeah, so like basically the same as Robaz, Athiuk. But I'm talking about like in a video format. I mean, that's like the same as Robaz, and I guess in theory, like Vine Sauce. Caravan has arrived. It's time to trade. Let's go down to here. They wanted powders. Chat, do I sell my dye? How's the fort going? It's getting rolling. I love that the cloth is actually worth about the same amount as the dye plus the bag. I don't know where this sandbag came from, so I'll sell them that. And let's also sell... I don't know. They've nerfed food. Let's sell a prepared food barrel. I've actually kind of got a lot of prepared food barrels. Once again, I don't understand how this is a beneficial subject, really, right? Mathiuk? This is one of those subjects where I try and shut it down really quickly. Because usually what it turns into is it's basically us, like, theory crafting whose video about this game would do well if they made it. It doesn't really benefit anybody or help anyone, like Dwarf Fortress or the creators that we're gossiping about, so it makes me very uneasy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's my place to say who should make a video about this, so I think I'm dipping out of the subject at this point. No, you're all good. I'm just saying that the subject's getting uneasy. I might. Humanoid. No, it's just, I guess the reason it's an issue, right? Spark of Death is Dwarf Fortress is a very, 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 very small creator community. It's a much bigger, like, gameplay community, but there isn't a lot of people covering this game. And while that's a subject that I'm totally okay talking about, like, why creators cover what they cover or why they choose to cover what they cover, there's also a point where it very quickly just kind of sounds like I'm accusing people of not playing the game that makes me money. So I have to be careful with what I say. Because that's, like, not really the point, nor, like, what I'm trying to do when these subjects come up. So on one hand, I'm totally fine talking about it. But on the other hand, I need to be very self-aware, I guess, when these subjects come up. But if it just turns into theory crafting about, like, how well a video would do, at the end of the day, the reason you don't get a lot of content about Dwarf Fortress from bigger or smaller YouTubers is there aren't a lot of people making content of this game that does super well. And a big YouTuber, generally, is a big YouTuber because they make content about games that people know. And they make content about games that they know. As an example, like Trupen or what's his name? Doshington, the people who make like a shit ton of Factorio stuff. Notice how like they make mostly Factorio stuff and then not a lot of other things. It's because Factorio is a game that takes a lot of time and you have to know it really well. But if you take the time and you know it really well, you can make content for it. And it's and a lot of the challenge YouTubers are the people that you guys bring up. Generally, if you look at the games that they actually cover, are pretty easy to play and micromanage. Games that are more ambiguous and hard to play and hard to micromanage are very difficult to create consistent challenge content out of that game unless you already play a shit ton of it. And most of them are, you know, like Ambiguous Amphibian as an example, spends a lot of time playing The Sims and like old SimCity games and older Tycoon games and Kenshi, which are very explored, I guess, figured out games that don't need to be relearned to make a video out of, right? And especially when you're on a pretty tight schedule, like somebody like Ambiguous is, it's very difficult. No, I don't want to, like, it's just for clarity here. I don't think that you're causing drama. I'm just overly cautious about starting drama. You know? I'm overly cautious about that. So I don't want to be that guy. It's me being cautious to a fault. It's not your fault. And now we're just waiting for my trader to show up. All right, let's see what we got. Brought bismuth bronze, which I'll grab. Grab the wood. Might actually grab that native gold block because that's kind of fun. Sure, I'll grab the rum, the syrup, and the wine. Let's buy meats. Let's buy plump helmets. Let's buy these. Grab that mic and nest box, because why not? Let's also buy this thread, because more variety. Let's buy the melons, and then try to trade. And they take it. Excellent. You're going to go back to making yarn cloaks. Foot in mouth disease? No, you don't. You're fine. I'm in the same boat as you. I wish there was more bigger YouTubers that covered this game. I think what's much more likely, and I think what would bring a lot more traffic to the game, wouldn't be people like Splattercat making like a 30-minute first impressions, blah, 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 this game's great video. Those are useful. But I think, honestly, what would be the thing that would help this game would be people streaming it, either on Twitch or YouTube, you know, and learning it. You know, like when Bike Man played Dwarf Fort like every day for about a month and learned it. Stuff like that. Or the occasional like big gets 2 million views video like the Down the Rabbit Hole video that came out. I don't know who that is, nor do I know what that is, and can we not just be like, I hope it's not this person? Because that's how you start drama, right, later on? Speaking of foot and mouth disease, Deep, it's good to see you. No, you don't have your foot in your mouth, I don't think, anyway, unless you're currently sucking on your toe for some reason. The Outpost Liaison has arrived, yeah, and they are here to discuss our situation, which is fine for the most part, I think. PewDiePie doesn't cover video games anymore. He makes Linux videos, and who cares? He's just a weird old Swede. Let him be a weird old Swede. Who fucking cares? Besides, him covering Linux has actually been kind of nice. I know this might sound strange. I'm actually just going to ask them to bring booze. They want thread. All right. Dude made his money and is now just doing whatever the fuck he wants. You know what? Honestly, I kind of respect it. I honestly kind of respect it. What's the hook for this fortress? Dyed cloth. So as you can see, we're making a lot of dye. Making pear leaf dye. We're making radish dye. Which produces a crew? Yeah. Oh shit, I missed a redeem? Like a bearded dwarf, maybe a metal craft or a clothes maker. I don't know. I don't really have any metal smithing industry right now. I also don't have any clothes making industry right now. There's one dwarf who's making clothing, and that's my broker. So if you'd like to be the broker, they don't have a beard though. I mean, PewDiePie's had his dramas, but let me tell you this. If I had millions of subscribers at the age that he had millions of subscribers, I would have had similar numbers of dramas. About different things, probably. But Nobody's perfect at this point. Well, we're not fishing in regards to hooks, though, YouTube chat. I'm still here, Tungdill, naturally. Where else would I be? So I can't give Insulina-sama the dwarf that they want, so I don't know. If they come back and tell me what they want, then okay. Otherwise, I will probably refund it in a couple minutes. Or I could just give them a table or something. Figured you worked late and missed the stream? I mean, yeah, I guess I've been live for 7 hours. I've probably got another hour of dwarfs left in me, and then I want to play some Jupiter Hell Classic. I'm going to be honest with you about JonTron. JonTron always just seemed really, 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 really dumb to me. Like, you know how there's like people who are like malicious, and then there are people who are like trolls, and then there are people who are like mean and conniving. JonTron just seemed kind of clueless and dumb and didn't realize how dumb he was. And I never really paid much attention to him before or after. So I was like, well, that's stupid. Anyways. Like, I think some people are just very politically uneducated, and that's what it is. Like I said, I wasn't like, I never followed him enough to be able to figure out how he could possibly be malicious. I remember him saying some really stupid shit and then showing up on Destiny's stream and then reinforcing the stupid shit and being told that he was stupid and then claiming he didn't understand how he was stupid. And I'm like, well, okay. Stupid is and stupid does, I suppose. Anyway, remember how earlier I was like, let's not just talk about other YouTubers? And also, later on, remember how I said, some people are just really dumb? Some people are just really dumb. You also need to remember that culturally, certain parts of the world have very different ideas of what is okay. Also, content made 10 years ago is not representative of something that somebody says or feels or thinks now. There's plenty of people on the internet who've said and done things 10, 15 years ago that they wouldn't do now. Look at people for what they are now, and don't just exist to talk smack about people that you don't watch anymore in my chat. Unless they're still actively doing such things, let's not. Oh, no, I mean, JonTron tanked a lot of his career, which is why I say I genuinely think he was just really dumb. That's all. I mean, he still exists and still does stuff. Dawn of War 4? No. Is that the golf game where they all shout, "Four!" really loudly? Oh my god, I would absolutely play a Warhammer 40,000 golf game. Somebody please make that. The orcs don't even use a fucking golf club. They just stare at the ball and it flies. That game is real. It's on Steam, I think. Spork. I don't really follow it too much. But yes, it is in fact real. Yeah, exactly. Mario Golf, but with Warhammer characters, and getting hit by a golf ball makes you explode. You know? I have a question, though. Do you go out of your way to look for apologies? Like, here's the thing, Letteran. I like you, so I'm not picking on you. Please don't think that I am. The thing that you need to realize is when everything that you do is immortalized on the internet and millions of people see it, it's possible that somebody in 2014 thinks that Nazis are really funny. And then instead of apologizing, which is not necessarily always the best course of action on the internet, you just never bring it up again and you don't do it again. Doesn't necessarily mean that they don't feel bad or feel stupid or feel like shit or regret it. But sometimes when you're just being what you think is funny at the time, it's often wiser to just not say anything. Because if you very loudly apologize, it can often draw more attention and make it worse. So if you just quietly don't say anything and never do it again, to me, that's almost the equivalent as somebody who does this for a living. I've said stupid shit before that I regret doing this for a living at a much smaller scale, where maybe a dozen people still occasionally at me on Reddit and insult me. But that was me 8 years ago, or that was me 10 years ago, or that was me 6 years ago. I feel like shit. I'll apologize to them in person, but I'm not gonna make a video apologizing because there's no point, right? What you need to realize is that when you have millions of people watching you, millions and millions and millions of people, if you say something stupid, apologizing just tells more people that you said something stupid. And most likely the people who saw you say something stupid have already blocked your channel and won't watch that anyway and don't care. That's what you need to realize, right? Is PewDiePie a perfect individual? Absolutely not. He's a human. Do I like his content? Not really. I like the fact that he supports Linux a lot and is educating people on how to get into Linux. That's cool. Do I think he's blameless and has never said anything awful in the past? No. Absolutely not. I'm friends with people that have said stupid shit and gotten quote-unquote canceled before. But the reality is, you just don't do the stupid shit again. And you know what he hasn't done again? Made those same jokes. Because if he had, the blowback would be astronomically worse. Instead of, he made a shitty video, and then 5 years later, a bunch of people were like, you know, hey, he made a shitty video back then. You need to realize that. And the worst part about the job that I have, this job, is that I'm a bipolar person who has manic episodes. And there are times where I can't fully control what my brain is doing. These days, I've gotten smarter. And when those happen, I just bluntly state, I feel like shit today, and turn my stream off. However, there are times in the past where I threatened people, or said awful fucking things, or got ridiculously angry for no logical reason. I've gotten better, I've been to therapy, and I've learned how to get around that and work within those limitations that my brain has. But I can't make an apology video for it. That just makes me look weird, and then people go digging through and then find old clips, which makes things worse. It sucks, but it's true. Because all that making big apologies videos does generally is it just draws more attention to the initial problem, right? Am I a perfect person? Fuck no. Have I been an asshole to viewers in the past? Absolutely. Have I made off-color jokes in the past? Totally. Did I realize I was doing it? No, not really. That's usually what happens. Something's culturally different, or like I made a joke not too long ago and then was informed, like, when I put the VOD up, that's a dog whistle for something that's not okay. And I feel like shit about it, and I apologize in the YouTube comment and haven't said it again. Does that make it okay? No, but it means that, I made a mistake and I learned from it. But I'm not gonna make a video pointing out the fact that I said something stupid in a stream while I was tired and sleep deprived, as thinking I was being funny, right? Rant done. It's cool to ask a DF question. No! Of course it is. What do you got? I mean, let me tell you this, Spork. You're not the first and you won't be the last. I mean, fucking Ninja said that word once on stream while he was singing, I want to say Kendrick Lamar lyrics or something. So, people are stupid. Nobody's perfect. People with an audience are under greater scrutiny at all times of their existence. But Batak, what is your question? If you would like to let me know. I mean, let me. When it comes to controversies and apology videos, there is a reason why YouTubers and streamers and content creators make ironic apology videos apologizing for nothing. It's because it draws a lot of attention. That's why. No. Rants are educational and healthy. Also, you need to remember that the difference between like 2015 and 2025 culturally for the planet is very different. I used to say shit in 2009 that I would never say now. If I had an audience in 2011, Jesus Christ, there would be some things I'd said on the internet that would not be okay. You want to know why? Because I grew up. And the world changed. Words have changed. It depends on what bubble you live in, someone. I'll be honest with you, I never follow Linus Tech Tips, so I have no idea what Linus said that almost did that, but whatever. Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of like edgy, self-aware, edgy humor that like just doesn't work anymore because it, you know, I'll tell you this. There's one joke that genuinely ages great from a comedy movie I love, which is the Blues Brothers, and the joke is, "I hate Illinois Nazis," and then they run the Nazis off the bridge, and it's extreme and silly, but like when you look at the world we live in now, it's like almost too real. It's like, oh my god. You like to look outside for the breeze because it might gauge the severity of your emotional reactions. That's also like not a bad idea, you know, getting some fresh air. I mean, I was saying this okay. Sorry, if you're allergic to politics, plug your ears for the neck until I put my hands down, okay? Please don't shoot me. Grok claiming to be Mecha Hitler was a good thing because it was one of the linchpins that stopped Grok from getting a contract with the US military. So thanks, Mecha Hitler, for stopping Grok from getting a contract with the US military and XAI getting a contract with the US military. So all I'm saying is we can reclaim Mecha Hitler now and keep shooting him in Wolfenstein all we want because it's funny. That's all. And this is why none of my VODs are safe for children. I'm still trying to figure out what the DF question was, Botak. Or maybe you're still typing it, I don't know. On top of... I mean, what's wrong with feet? That probably just means that it's Elon Musk self-reporting in reality. That's probably all it is. Got any Gorlak feet? Not right now. It was a novel? Oh, that's fine. I mean, novels are okay as long as the chat doesn't need it, because it does have a 500 character limit. I was just worried I missed it, is all. I'll have you know that there are no feet in Dwarf Fortress because dwarves use the metric system. Damn it. Yeah, we only have meters. Plenty of feet when that Dwarf Lord comes chopping. No, totally. Or when, you know, the goblins step in the weapon traps. You have a dwarf that can't stand her grip, and she previously killed a forgotten beast, and then she got hurt. So I sent her to die a noble death against those humans, but instead twice she 1v3'd the human settlements and brought stuff back. Oh, that's amazing. And brought back stuff, and she's awesome, but she can't pick up new clothes now, and you're mad about it, and you've tried assigning her clothes as a squad captain, but yeah, so if they can't grip, they can't equip clothing or pick up new items. What you could do, if you want her to go live a happy life, is you could send her as a squad leader to go take over another location, and if she succeeds, then she'll become a noble at that location. Or yeah, appoint her as the hammerer or something. As long as being naked doesn't upset her, she is okay. But she cannot equip clothing, which kind of sucks. Is the short answer. Trying to get all these bedrooms furnished up properly. And she keeps canceling fights, presumably because no fists. Then yeah, I think probably your best course of action would be to send her somewhere to take over it. Like, send her to conquer and occupy. Which will either make her die an honorable death, as you said, or she'll take over the location. You need dwarf nursing homes. Oh, you know what? Actually, could fit that in with the adoption stuff that we also probably need at some point. Flesh of Man Fu. Thank you very much for that Prime subscription. Check, can I get a round of beers for that brand new sub? Appreciate you, mate. So I'm going to, I think, do two things here. Going to make a limestone square. I'm going to make this for gems. It's going to be step 1. I'm also going to do limestone and limestone and limestone. Those are going to be for gem cutter shops. Hope for the best. Best of luck, dude. You've got this. Be strong in Armok. We believe. Also, I just want to say this. I love the color of oak. Oak is such a good color in Dwarfort. Like, holy shit. And I used it all up, like, immediately. What, like, long-term care? That'd be like an addition to the... Like a sanitarium or something kind of deal? I mean, at some point we're supposed to get adoption. Guess that's kind of a similar-ish thing? Asterisk? That require realistic solutions? Yeah. So I'm going to make a stockpile here. going to create a stockpile here for cut gems and uncut gems. And I'm going to build this into a little gem cutter's construction. What, adoption? Someone over there? I mean, it would be like if a baby is alive and both their parents are dead, another family could adopt them so that they're not familyless for the rest of their life. And then it would give the mom and dad a happy thought for becoming parents. Basically is how that would work, if that's what you're asking. I mean, you know what we actually just need? We just need magic potions to be integrated into the hospitals, like Tarn has said, and allow us to craft magic potions. Because then... Or acquire magic potions somehow. So that the dwarf who loses their hands can then be magic potioned back to health. You know? Regrow them limbs. Because you can do that in adventure mode right now. You just can't do it in fort mode currently. Well, without some pretty severe... like, shenanigans, I shall say. Did I ever make it down to the bottom of this? Or did I hit the aquifer? I didn't hit an aquifer. Would you look at that? Nifty. Oopsies. It's the wrong tool. So what I need is I need to build a big ol' wall down here and roof it off. Then I can start surface farming, and I can start like putting my sheep in here and putting the farmers' workshops in there. Something that we gotta do, and holy shit, that's a lot of malachite. All that malleable malachite. I don't see why they would hate or disapprove of... I mean, they've already got, like, clay bricks, which is, like, 1 or 2 steps removed from concrete. I mean, we were talking about concrete earlier because there's a mod right now that lets you make sandstone out of quicklime, water, and dye. Which seems pretty cool to me, actually. Yeah, here. I linked it earlier. I want to... nope, that's the wrong one. Here, let me go grab it. That's the wrong one. I don't have this one copied anymore. Yeah, it's this. Maybe I just showed it and didn't actually link it. It's Craftable Sandstone Dyed Edition. And then there's one that lets you do more. But yeah, 1 container of water, 1 bag of quicklime, 1 bag of sand, and 1 bag of plant dye makes 4 sandstone blocks. Sorry, that's pretty funny, Adam Warren. In YouTube chat's like, as a polite man, I don't meet her. I take her to dinner. A+. That's pretty funny. Aren't we getting wizards? Shrugs, supposedly. I don't know how that's going to work, but we do have healing potions in the game. They're just specifically an adventure mode thing right now, and Tarn did say earlier this year that those are going to be worked into the hospitals in fort mode eventually. And right now you can force dwarves in fort mode to drink the healing potions, but you have to lock them in a room with the healing potion and then basically like forcibly separate them from sources of water or alcohol. If you take her to dinner, do you foot the bill? Oh my god. Sorry, this is too much. You'll see yourself out. I mean, Adept bite hasn't bit anything in a while, you know? What can I say? Yeah, like that's a mod that I'm kind of interested in, Deep Space. So many hauling tasks are being completed. All right, let's actually, I'm looking at all of our drinks and such. We're actually pretty well caught up, so I'm just going to pause a bunch of jobs. Also get rid of that make birch bin job entirely. And let's just do some hauling. She's rolling teeth first, that's for sure. I mean, legendary fighter and spear dwarf and discipline and great... Yeah, it's pretty hard to kill even without arms or legs. I feel like that lady being in charge of a fort that you live in would be pretty terrifying. Okay, what are these dwarves so upset about? What's going on? Want to pray. Caught in the rain. Caught in the rain. Literally, they get rained on and snowed on, and they don't like that. That is most of this fort at the moment. Let's just do 20. Cut 20 gems. If the number of rough gems is above 40. And we'll just do that maybe monthly. Because I got shit tons of rough gems and need to get some. She would demand hands as tribute. Or maybe she's just training an army of handy dwarves. You know? Needs to surround herself with the handyman. I love how gems are one of those things where they can just haul many of them. Like, look at how quick they pick up all these gems. Like, it's so it's so funny that, like, so many things they can't pick up multiples of. But, like, gems, good to go. Transplants? But what if a dwarf decided, I'm just going to rip the heart out of my pet pig and then put it into this dwarf and then get very upset for a while. And by a while, I mean a long while. Some migrants have arrived. We've got 1, 2, and we're now at 50 dwarves, which means I need to make a manager's office. Also, that's a legendary record keeper. I'm sorry, Stodier, but you're getting replaced. I just got a legendary clerk. I mean, Blazed Chambers definitely hotbox the office, that's for sure. What a dwarf, man. I mean, how often do you just get a legendary broker? Also, Reg, the pump operator, has been elected mayor. This is good old Mayor Reg. He's got 2 children, 2 pets, and 2 lovers. And none of them are here, so we don't know if they're real or alive or dead. He's never killed anybody. And his social skills, he's a legendary speaker. Well, he's certainly not a Bose brand, then. Once before the hidden fun stuff was procedurally generated, you made playable and played as one in adventure mode. That's still kind of doable, sort of, with angels, but... and I ran around biting people's heads and shaking them around until they came off, and they never dropped, and so it was like some... Yeah, I once realized I had somebody's, like, severed tongue in my mouth. And a couple fingers. So I'm going to put, I think, Mayor's office down here. The best, like, disturbing things in Dwarf Fortress is when you don't realize that you're doing something super fucked up until you do, and then when you do, you're just kind of scarred for the rest of your existence playing this game because you once did that one thing. Like that person on the Dwarf Fortress subreddit who was like, I'm going to steal this shield from this adventurer, and then realizing that that shield was the only thing that they had in their possession and then felt bad. So they tried to give the shield back, but instead of like handing it to them or like trading it to them or offering it to them, they threw it at them, and the shield hit that adventurer in the head and killed them. Like, you know, that kind of thing. I mean, I get the joke at him over. Oof, literally, especially if it hit them in the stomach. Setting up a monthly schedule reminded me how I set up daily schedules for the longest time, and dwarves were never able to finish anything, and nothing was ever accounted well because of how much time was spent switching between tasks, and cooking a shit ton once every month is more efficient than cooking a bit every day. Yeah, unless you're dealing in very small amounts. I will say it's way less obvious how long it takes for the dwarves to count everything these days. Like, they're way faster at it than they used to be. But back when they were way slower at it, it was like one hell of a fast thing that had to be done constantly. Trying to train legendary biting cooking and was... Wait, in adventure mode? If you're talking about adventure mode, tongue dill. Oh, in fort mode, then I have no idea. In adventure mode, the best way to do that is to just beat the shit out of people who are sleeping because they don't wake up. So if you want to train biting, just go bite people who are in their sleep. Just like go bite their ear and spit out their ear and bite their ear and spit out their ear and bite their ear and spit out their ear and set it as macro and then just walk away. And come back a while later. But in a squad, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of skills in adventure mode that are just hard to train. I've never understood the reason why someone would need auto butcher, but I mean, you're just not dedicating hard enough to the bit. You know what I'm saying? Hmm. Let's make you out of malachite. And you out of malachite. Then I will do a rock statue. 1. out of microcline, my mayor, who is a rag Catan. Catan Cole. Channel wheel. Was born in 165. Pretty old dwarf. In adventure mode, you don't really. You have to hope that a dwarf leads a biting demonstration. You would need a dwarf who's going to lead a lot of demonstrations in your fortress who's really good at biting. I guess like if you had a legendary adventurer in biting, then your dwarves would be more likely to learn biting, but it's kind of like a cascading thing. It's like if you want to train miscellaneous object, the best way to do that is to just, have a bunch of wrestlers and then put coins everywhere and then tell them to fight something or scare them with something and they'll throw coins at it. Or like whatever. I mean, like I said, you'd have to use an adventurer. That is what making a dwarf with the biting skill is. Well, because one coin is 500 shots, right? So, like, if you have, like, a squad of, like, 10 wrestlers here, and then this is a fortification, and then there's a hole on the other side of the fortification, and then this is a goblin that's chained up who's part of an enemy faction, they will throw coins through that. It's pretty quick, actually. Coins are heavy, and throwing is still super strong, so A plus B equals splat. Yes. So you want 2 chests, 2 weapon racks, and an armor stand. Let's just put one of these right here. Oh, you don't have a dining office assigned yet. There you go. I need you to have your own dining room. Question is where's the bedroom for the mayor? Conglomerate. Then malachite. Dragons don't need to be knocked into cage traps. They're just cage trappable, at least in the current versions of the game. So you don't need to worry about it. Podtack. If you just have a cage and a cage trap, you can catch it. Doesn't matter the material. And then I'm going to do rock armor stand and rock weapon rack. And let's make these both out of... Let's just make them both out of malachite. Another way to train a lot of miscellaneous object, which will make them pick things up, is make them only use a shield in wrestling training. Because practicing striking things with a shield is miscellaneous object. So if you tell them to equip 2 shields and no weapon, and then train them in wrestling, that's a way to train miscellaneous object. I'm just thinking of random ways to like train weird things in Dwarf Fort now. I'm very curious to see what they do with the cage trap, because calling it a nerf, Mark Gordon, is maybe a bit off, because what they say is the upcoming cage trap nerf will be a bit of a wake-up call. I don't know if I'd call it a rework, because I think that there's like Nerf, which is just you make something worse, which would just be like same cage traps as they are right now, and then just like saying, okay, dragons are no longer caught in them. That would be a nerf. Whereas Tarn adding new types of traps for different types of creatures as part of the siege stuff, to me, doesn't equal a nerf. Anyway, we've got a wereskink, which is fucking terrifying. A skink twisted into humanoid form. It is crazed for blood and flesh, and its eyes glow mahogany. Its dark brown scales are oval-shaped and set far apart. You will know why you fear the night. I already do. Why do I need to know more? Let's turn this on and tell them to pull this lever. It appears to be fighting with this ram, and it is 200-something years old. It's killed a bunch of random animals. Not random animals, though. It's also a lasher, which is interesting. Hold on. Oh, I thought for a second there, the wereskink was bleeding a whole lot. I was like, how's that possible? That seems like bullshit. Legendary appraiser. Oh my god. Running down the hill, which is what I like to see. Ha-ha! Sucker. So, I mean, it's an elf. Doesn't feel anything after seeing a sheep die. Didn't fight with anything else, did it? Nope, just the sheep. Why is there a naked elf there? Because they were just the wereskink. Now they have turned back into an elf. And I can let the dwarves go back to what they were doing. And I can open the gate back up. How embarrassing indeed, yes. In other news, an animal caretaker withdraws from society. Now, what are you going for? Ooh, weaving. Goes for the clother shop. They grab pigtail cloth, which is goldenrod. And more goldenrod pigtail cloth. And more goldenrod pigtail cloth. And what else? A rock and a rock. And sheep leather. And rambone. First blood, probably. So, three fancy cloth. That's actually pretty decent value. 54 and 54. It's definitely better than the 20 of the default. That one's 80. Damn. Yeah, the elf will leave. But they were a were creature and they became an elf after being a were creature. Also, look at my very pink mayor in charge. Me like. I should really just hotkey these levels. All right, you. Let's unforbid these. Unforbid these. And also just smooth all of this. And then go down here. No armor stands or weapon racks just yet. But a very busy mayor. Hello, Zordas. Going all right? I read that as malicious object training. Boom, boom. Like, what? How are the objects malicious? I need some more bedrooms. So you go along here. You go over to there. You come up from here. Oopsies. You recently noticed that feather trees have harvestable eggs now? Oh, really? Oh, wow. There's probably a lot of other random shit that have been added. I mean, I know that, like, dyes being added has also, like, added a lot of uses to plants that didn't previously have use, so Tarn probably threw a bunch of extra shit in there. I should try and import feather tree eggs. You play on joyful maps a lot? Well, that's neat. Oh, why does it have to be frilly? Moral, the animal caretaker has created Kid Rishakul, a frilly pigtail hood. This is a frilly pigtail hood. All craftsmanship is of the highest quality. It is encrusted with cushioned shirt cabochons and encircled with bands of pigtail. It is made from pigtail. It is made from pigtail cloth. The pigtail is made from pigtail. Sorry, the pigtail is made from pigtail cloth. The thread is goldenrod, exceptionally colored with ash bark dye. This object is adorned with hanging rings of pigtail and menaces with spikes of pigtail and sheepbone. On the item is an image of the ardent trumpet, the frilly pigtail hood in sheep leather. So it's like self-referential. Neat. Let's give that to... I'm gonna give that to my mayor, or to my manager, rather. They can have a... They can have a fancy item after making blocks. You need step ladders for picking fruits and trees, is the reason to make step ladders. I mean, for me as a modier, it's like a yes to both. It depends on how constrained for space I am. If I have the space, then yeah, I just make bigger rooms. Feels some delight to putting on a truly splendid item. You'll love to see it. I like to imagine that it does, at least until the item that it's like referring to or referencing gets too small for it to continue. I like to imagine that it does, I guess. Just need that done. It's just an image of itself. Yeah. It's just like a square within a square within a square within a square. Although, isn't that just kind of like an MC Escher painting? Like, there's a lot of abstract artists that are just like, I drew a square with a square in it. And then there's a square with a square with a square in it. And if you square it off, then you truly get to see what I was intending to scribble. Spoken like a master scribbler. Let's give some of these children places to stay and live. I mean, I'll even assign bedrooms to like kids so that the average happiness goes up in the fort. And giving kids their own bedrooms isn't necessary because they'll just share with their parents until they become an adult. But if you give them their own, they do like that. That's a pretty easy mod, Tungdill. Making it so that dwarves can craft masks. I'm making so much dye, this is a little ridiculous. Let's mix some dyes. Could make just normal gold dye. Let's make some dark pink dye. Let's do that. So the next thing I need to do is just make another clothing shop. And I will attach it to specifically these. We're going to start making goldenrod tunics. This is true, yeah. They'll also do that. They won't claim their own bedrooms until they're an adult, but they'll use publicly available beds or share with their parents. But I almost never actually assign rooms to the tavern. That's something I feel like I should probably do more, but I often don't. I wonder if we can harvest beans yet. They're always right on there on the map. I wonder. I know there's a bunch. That's another thing there's a bunch of mods for. You know, I gotta say, this might be the first spam email like this I've gotten. I just received a spam email that very much looks like a template. And I will read this. Okay? I get a lot of these about TikTok shorts. Hey, how are you doing? Nice to meet you. Sorry for bagging into your DMs without your concept, and hope you don't mind. The purpose of this DM is that I'm a 3D character artist. So I have a marketplace, but no cells there. Sure. They should, like, check out professional wrestling if they want people to no sell with. I don't know, maybe you may be looking to create a VTuber model for you. If yes, I can help you model it. I'm a professional graphic designer for streamer artist. That's how the English language works, yes. With over 3 to 4 years experience. Clearly not that much if you don't have any clients. I believe it qualifies me to create an amazing VTuber model character for you. I will get original hand-drawn design, PGN, JPEG, no AI or custom rigging advanced, plus hand tracking. Kindly reply back to me to achieve your model. My God. The Discord DMs have found their way into emails, chat. Fucking run. We are all doomed. That's very fucking funny, though. Jesus fucking Christ. Hello, Taylor. Hi, how are you? How was the camping trip and the wedding? The camping trip was a lot of fun. Got rained on a lot the first day, but stayed mostly dry. And the wedding was a good time. I drank a lot of wine and beer. That I examined yesterday in Caves of Cud was a Masterworks laser pistol. I mean, that's pretty cool. Congratulations on your Masterwork laser pistol. And your pew pew. For all. Forever. Let's do that. Beer makes your nose hurt? Are you allergic to it? Beer does have a lot of allergens in it. Or rather, the ingredients in beer does. So this right here, we'll take items from here, I think. Uh-oh. This is saffron. Whereas this is amber, which is peach bark dye. I'm actually going to add 2 more dye cloth tasks to this so that we can work through our surplus, because I've got kind of a lot of surplus. And then you, after taking from amber, are going to make... And also goldenrod. We'll take from both of these. You are going to make dresses and tunics. And dresses and tunics. I'm gonna make 3, 3, 3, and 3. And you're going to do this monthly. But they're going to stop when the amount of dresses is greater than 5. I'm also going to make this stockpile a little bigger. So I think it'll look better as just a flat square. And also add a bin to it, because I think it needs it. Because they'll still empty stuff out and move it over. So for dresses, this dwarf is up for it. Also, by the way, thank you very much for all the follows, chat. I do see those. I just don't verbally respond to them. Also, we've hit the 8-hour mark. Some ads are about to start. So I will pause the game when the ads start. Oops. Potpourri is one of the first to go equip this dress. Looking good there, Dwarfy. Looking good. Got a tunic getting made by Sage here. And then this is going to go get claimed by somebody else, probably. And I will pause game until the ad break is done. Chat, I'm currently about $38 away from my daily minimum, which basically means if I make that amount, then I make minimum wage for the amount of time that I've streamed for the day. So if you happen to have a Prime sub available, do think about me. That goes for people on Twitch and on YouTube. But I wouldn't worry about it too much. We may make it up in the passive resubs over the night. It's just kind of a reminder that if you have a hat next to your name and you're not seeing ads right now, thanks for helping keep the channel funded. Same to those of you with hats in the YouTube chat. I see you. And also, Blazing Tiger, everybody asks dumb questions in Dwarf. There's no such thing as dumb questions. There's just questions you don't know the answer to. And the answer might be very dumb, but the question itself is not inherently dumb. And the answer may also make you feel dumb, but that doesn't make you dumb, nor does it make the answer dumb. Thanks for the $10. That means we're, like, what, 27 away now?
Letterin cheered. X1000.
Appreciate you, Letterin. Does the Robit lady do a decent job pronouncing your name? Been wondering this for a bit now. Let's go north. And add this. I'm just going to call it Limonite. Get rid of all these. Take from here. Load Limonite. On Twitch, I get 70% because I have the highest level of partner support, whatever. I think they call it the Plus program these days, which I'm very fortunate to have, by the way. And on YouTube, I get 70%, but Twitch pays the currency conversion and the transfer fees. So like the fee to actually transfer it out to an account plus the currency conversion, meaning Twitch actually pays quite a bit better than YouTube does. You just want a volcano with closely bordering heavy aquifer, but apparently that's just too much to ask for. Volcanoes can't be on the same tile as an aquifer. So you'd need a very large embark location. Or you'd need the volcano to be in the corner of it. Like, volcanoes and aquifers are inherently not compatible, really. It's amber. I need another one that's saffron. Actually, let's just say all. No undyed, just saffron, no metal. Cloth. And you are going to give to this, which is going to be saffron cloth. This is making me think more about different kinds of cloth than I think I've ever thought about in this game. Just saying. And different colors of cloth. And dye. I don't think I've ever spent this much time thinking about dye. Ever. Let's just do... Let's just clear out this. Although actually I should make... bunch of this out of yarn. Just to clear out this stockpile a bit. Although that bin's gonna help a lot. And can also help us get a lot more of this stuff out of here and into there. And then shift it out into these extra stockpiles. Gig the dwarf. Gig driver. Would you like a beard or no beard? Are you a gig worker then? Depends on the currency. To give you an idea, when it all shakes out, YouTube memberships end up paying me about 64%. But I don't know. At the end of the day, just subscribe wherever it's more convenient. I think you get a better value for your money on Twitch, personally, but... Beard, you are in fact a gig worker. I meant that more as a joke. Oopsies. I'm sorry that you have to work for DoorDash. Let's see, what can I give you for a dwarf? Your VAD is available. I could also give you a surgeon, or you could have the mayor if you like. The mayor is available. Would you like the mayor? He wants his bedroom to be nicer, but like, don't we all? He keeps getting into arguments. Gig the mayor. Mayor Gig. Got it. He's enjoying this gig, though. He is prone to hatreds and develop negative feelings. He has a noticeable lack of perseverance, can occasionally lose focus on the matter at hand, is quick to anger, tends to consider what others think of him, and rarely feels discouraged. He occasionally overindulges and doesn't seek out excitement. He needs alcohol to get through the working day. So would I if I was the mayor. He dreams of creating a great work of art and personally values sacrifice, values peace over war, and finds friendship burdensome. He does not really value skills related to fighting. It is, in fact, a gig, depending on the election cycle. He wants his bedroom to be nicer, so I will give you that. And I will not give you that because you haven't made it yet. I guess I could smooth the walls in here, maybe? You know, I also would be upset if there was a boulder on my bed, though. Actually, I could do this. Let's put a pedestal in here. Put something on it. Have decent value. Circus tune in your head with juggling dwarves. Got it. You feel the friendship part sometimes? Yeah. Dwarves are, like, sometimes shockingly relatable. There you go. Gig, the mayor's now happy. By the way, the statue in your bedroom is a superior quality image of Lolar. And it is a designed image of... and the image was designed by... Sorry, it's an image of Lolar. Of Lolar Frosty Tools, the dwarf, and a cave dragon, Malachite. Sweaty Poet did the design. The cave dragon is striking down the dwarf. The artwork relates to the killing of the dwarf Lolar Frosty Tools by the cave dragon in Sense Nets, the scintillating mountain in the early spring of 281 during the Crazed Siege. Sounds lovely. Yeah, poor dwarf who's getting struck down. I mean, it was a great story, though, nonetheless, I would say, or presume. Arm. I'm thinking the mayor's dining room goes down here somewhere. Question is, how the hell... Thomas, thanks for the 10 bucks. Appreciate you. And YouTube chat, there was a $10 super chat. So thank you. I think this is going to be the mayor's dining hall. I mean, honestly, that's a pretty baller statue, if you ask me. I would be very happy to have a statue like that. So, I mean, maybe a little bit edgy, but it keeps you honest, you know? So this is what they look like with the goldenrod chest gear, I guess. I quite like that. It looks nice. Especially like it in the portrait. This is a very nice little sheepwool dress. I mean, we are still slowly making cloaks as well. Meanwhile, this dwarf is just going through all the extra stuff. Oh, that's interesting. This is dark pink. I think I'm going to allow dark pink in here too. So they should be able to move the dark pink out of here and into there. Do I recommend this game for new players? I mean, in order to learn how to play a game, you have to be a new player at some point, right? Do I recommend this game, like, in general? Yeah. I think it's very good. I happen to really like it. But, unless I'm misunderstanding the question. Black Fiend. It really, really has unlocked a lot of possibilities. Well, that's a lot of ore that needs to be mined out. So I will just automate all this and start flooring this up. I'm also going to go around this side, deconstruct this. Yeah, of course, it's going to dig over there, which is good. Oh, they're off that way now. See you guys. I mean, if it's a question about how steep the learning curve is, I mean, Dwarf Fortress is a difficult game to get into, but it's difficult because it is more of a role-playing game than a strategy game, and a lot of people try and play games like this like a strategy game or a min-maxing game. You'll get a lot more out of it, though, if you try and play it as a game where you are, you know, trying to construct the narrative out of the gameplay tools. But I do recommend this game. I personally really like it. So I guess it kind of depends on exactly what the question is. If the question is, do I recommend this game? Yes. If the question is this game complicated? Yes. Its reputation does not, like, outlive it, I guess. Just gonna use boulders. You still mess up every time with lava? Really? Every time? I mess up some of the times. Maybe not every time, but certainly some of the times. Yeah, and also what Rum Rusher said, it's definitely a game that you have to dedicate, like, time to. But I think it was Cupo who I heard say this the first time, which was, once you learn Dwarf Fortress, you don't need any other video games. So it makes the time worth it. But I also don't think the learning curve is as ridiculous as it used to be. I mean, at this point, it's no different than, like, trying to learn Civ from step 0 or, like, a grand strategy game or anything. Like, there's definitely crazier games to learn out there. Like, it's not easy to get into, but it's not unobtainium, I guess. What if I get rid of these in the middle here? And then let's go over here and put one of these. And then we go over here and put one of these. And then this will be a dining hall for my mayor once all these walls are done. Oh, it's so impatient. Impatient is a sudden and unexpected... Impatience is a sudden and very unexpected killer. Or maybe a sudden and often unexpected killer? And there we go. Then this can be a dining hall. And this will be given to my mayor. The old gig mayor can now take a gigabyte out of his dinner in his new dining hall. I mean, the ASCII free version just looks like this. I mean, if you want your quote-unquote garbage, I don't think you're making this discussion in good faith, but you can absolutely just go get it if you want it. It's also free on the Bay 12 website if you want that version that looks like that. Calling it garbage makes me believe that you're just here to try and stir up fuss, and I don't really appreciate that, to be honest. Oh, absolutely, Boom Boom. Absolutely. Could not agree more. Well, it doesn't read that way. These days, when people go around to Twitch channels and they just go on about missing ASCII, they're usually, especially if it's the first thing they say in my chat, they're usually just here because they realize that they're watching a stream that caters towards people who started playing the game after that, and they're just there to start an argument. So I don't really believe that you're doing this in good faith, because if you actually truly missed it, you'd just be playing it and not going around bugging people about it. You know? That's the reality. Because it's still there. You can still play it. Or you could even go play an older version of the game that still has the old UI and all. And there are people who still play that too. So yeah, I don't really believe that you're talking in good faith. Because you're not talking in good faith, Spork. That's how. Genuinely. And the reality is, like, what did the graphics do? Well, they changed the UI for the better, for the most part. The people who learned the obtuse ASCII version can continue playing that if they want. If you don't like the UI changes, it's okay. You can still play the old versions. They're still available. It's not like they're unlisted or anything. And the people who go around whining about it are mostly, especially if they're in my chat, just doing it because they know that a lot of people who weren't able to play the game or weren't interested in learning or didn't have the time to play the game until the Steam version came out, they know that they can piss some people off. It's called trolling, which is why I have very little faith that people are doing it in good faith whenever they do it. That's a very roundabout way of saying I usually presume people are trolling. You're being snuggled by two cats both passed out? I'd make a Dwarf Fortress joke, but that would imply that you were abusing your cats, so I won't do that. That's adorable. Give them pets for me. They're not really implemented in a clear or useful way, though, Radiant. All right, chat. I've been streaming for 8.5 hours. Now I make the decision. Do I play some Jupiter Hill Classic, or do I end and go edit? That's the question. I kind of want to stream some Jupiter Hill Classic. But I've got lots of editing. Who wants some Jupiter? I think we'll also permit you to take from Saffron. Let's do a run of Jupiter Hell. I can edit this weekend. Chat room, we're swapping games now. You're welcome to keep talking about Dwarf Fortress. If you're here specifically for Dwarf Fortress and plan to tune out, do me a huge favor and keep the stream tab up. Just mute it. Like, just let the view count stick around. Otherwise, that's it for Dwarf Fort for the day. I will be back tomorrow with more Dwarf Fort. But if you stick around, we're going to be playing some Jupiter Hell, which is a remake of Doom the Roguelike. 2 seconds, though. Just had to turn off my recording and put a marker here. While you make your Rain World region? Ooh. Does it come with slug cats? Oopsies, wrong button. Now I can't find my mouse. There it is. All right, now I got that.